Hi guys, it's Dylan from Bijou Diamond Jewellery in London with another watch review, and today we're having a look at the Rolex Daytona in rose gold. If you haven't seen my steel Daytona review, I did a couple months ago, which is the 116520 review. Check that out because that goes through all the history on the Daytona and how it came into the Rolex collection. I'll give you some basic history on the rose gold Daytona. The rose gold was first introduced in the late 80s/early 90s. And then the actual reference that we're looking at here today, the 116505, was released in 2008. Initially, they released a black dial and a few other options, and there are a few different options for the rose gold. Chocolate dial, black dial, this amazing ivory dial. There's a diamond dial that I spoke about in my dream collection a couple of weeks ago. There's also versions of this watch on a strap as well, the Oyster Flex straps, and then also leather as well. So there's loads of different options for the rose gold Daytona. But the one we're looking at here today is the ivory dial version. It's absolutely stunning watch. It's probably one of my favorite watches from Rolex. Let's go over some of the features of this specific Daytona. So we'll start with the clasp. Standard Oyster clasp, really comfortable. It's got the easy link, so it allows you to adjust to make the bracelet bigger or smaller by 5mm. Really useful feature, especially when it gets hot. You can then just expand your bracelet. As I always say, these are great clasps. They don't tend to wear out over time. They've got a really nice feel to them, very solid. The bracelet is the standard Oyster bracelet. We have polished center links and brushed outer links, and that matches with the clasp. We've got a polished centerpiece and then brushed outer parts to the clasp. Really nice bracelet, very, very comfortable to wear. It feels very solid in rose gold. They always feel amazing, the rose gold Daytonas. There's a really different feel to the steel, not just in weight, but the actual way the bracelet moves is very silky, and it's quite hard to explain. The steel can feel a little bit tinny sometimes, but this just feels so solid and really smooth. You definitely feel like it's a much higher quality product over the steel version. Moving on to the case, we've got a rose gold full polished case and a beautiful tachymeter bezel that has black markings. It really pops on the watch, it looks amazing. And then moving on to the dial, we've got this stunning ivory dial complemented with all rose gold accents, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. This is probably one of my favorite rose gold Daytonas ever, if not my favorite. Every time I see this watch, I fall in love with it again, and this is probably one of the only rose gold watches that I'd ever own. I think it's absolutely stunning. This watch is obviously a chronograph, so we've got our start stop at 2 o'clock and then our reset at 4 o'clock. I love how the black markings on the bezel match up with the black hands. I think it looks really cool, and then obviously matches up with the Rolex writing as well. It's just a really beautifully thought out watch. They've really thought about the smaller details, the finer detail on this watch. So this watch being rose gold is not just any rose gold, it's different to other brands like Patek and Audemars Piguet. This watch features Everose Gold, which is Rolex's in-house gold, and Everose means basically it's going to be rose gold forever. Some watches, when you polish them, they are yellow gold or other gold underneath, and it's just been plated in a rose gold plating, like a copper plating, to give it that color. Whereas this is rose gold throughout. So if you were to polish it or dink it or wear it over time and it wears out, it's not plated, so it's not going to wear away. You're always going to have that same exact color. And obviously the watch is 18 karat rose gold. The reason why you wouldn't go 24 is because 24 would be too soft for a watch. Would I own this watch? 100%. I think it's one of my favorite watches in the Rolex collection. Every time I see this watch, I fall in love with it again. That ivory dial is such a stunning combination. I do really like the laser etch dial, like I mentioned on my dream collection video, where I looked at the rose gold Daytona with the rose gold and diamond dial. I love that watch because it's got that laser etch dial, that CD effect. It gives the watch real life. And obviously those diamonds add even more life to the dial. Whereas normal dials can tend to look flat, however this doesn't. It's ivory as well, so it's not pure white. I think if it was pure white, it would look stunning. It would look even maybe a little bit more brighter and poppier, but I quite like the fact that ivory matches the rose gold. It really complements the rose gold in a nice way. When you get it in certain light, it almost has a rose gold tinge to it. I think if I was realistically looking at which watch to get, this one or the rose gold one with the diamond dial that I looked at in my dream collection, I think this would be the much smarter decision. I think it's much more timeless. I think it's absolutely stunning combination, the ivory and the rose gold. And I think it harks back to the original Rolexes, those first few Rolexes with the yellow gold or rose gold, and the white dials. That's a very classic Rolex look. I think it's so timeless and so elegant. It's not as loud and blingy as some of the other rose gold Daytonas. So in that respect, I'd feel more comfortable wearing this. It's not necessarily going to attract too much attention. The watch fits my wrist, I think, perfectly. I love the rose gold against my skin. I think it looks stunning. It kind of blends in. The rose gold versus yellow gold. Yellow gold is much more blingy and shouty, in my opinion. It looks really nice, but rose gold just blends and it's very soft and subtle. This is definitely by far one of my favorite Rolexes, and I think it will be for a very, very, very long time. Thanks guys for watching. Let us know in the comments what you think of this beautiful rose gold Daytona. Do you like the ivory dial? Would you go for the black dial maybe, or the chocolate dial? Let us know in the comments. Would you maybe go for the oyster flex over this versus the bracelet? We'd be really interested to know.